Welcome to This Explainer. We're jumping right into a scenario today that's, well, as fascinating as it is absolutely terrifying. So, picture this. You're driving through a gorgeous winter wonderland. The snow's falling, it looks beautiful, but then the wind picks up. Suddenly, you're hit with near zero visibility. Your tires spin out, and just like that, your car slides right into a snowbank. You are officially trapped in your vehicle in the middle of a severe blizzard. It's a massive, high-stakes situation where panic can easily take over. But today, we're going to break down exactly how to survive it, using a highly practical, step-by-step approach designed for novices.
So, let me ask you this directly. If you're stuck in a freezing car during a massive snowstorm, what is the absolute most immediate threat to your life? If you're new to winter survival, you probably suspect it's the freezing cold, right? I mean, you're literally surrounded by ice. But hold that thought, because the real answer is definitely not what you think. And honestly, knowing the difference is your very first step to getting out of there alive.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're following a priority-based, threat-level countdown used by survival pros. We're going to start with air, specifically the carbon monoxide threat. Then we'll move to shelter, cover, safe hydration, and finally, look at preparation and your survival kit.
All right, moving to priority 1, the rule of threes.
Under extreme stress, our brains basically default to panic. To stop that from happening, professionals rely on a cognitive framework that dictates exactly what to do step by step. 46. The biological reality of our bodies is pretty stark. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, and 3 hours without shelter, but literally only 3 minutes without air. 46, 47, 48. This biological reality totally dictates our survival checklist today. Basically, there's absolutely no need to worry about rationing your granola bars if you're about to suffocate.
Which brings us right to priority 2, the carbon monoxide threat.
There is this huge contrast between what we fear and what actually gets us. The perceived threat is freezing to death, but the actual, absolute most immediate threat? That's carbon monoxide poisoning. When you're stuck, blowing snow can easily block your exhaust pipe. If you leave the engine running like that, it forces deadly, completely odorless gas straight into the car's interior. And yeah, that often has lethal results. 5, 6, 22, 23.
So here is your strict step-by-step requirement to safely use your car's engine for heat without suffocating or wasting all your gas. Step 1. Carefully exit the vehicle and manually clear all the snow and ice away from the exhaust pipe area 5, 16, 17, 20. Step 2. Anytime that engine is running, you've got to crack a window on the side of the car facing away from the wind. Just open it about an inch or so for active ventilation. 6, 8, 12, 17. Step 3. Only run the engine for about 10 minutes every single hour. That generates enough heat to keep you warm while really conserving your fuel. 8, 17, 19. And step 4. Turn it completely off.
Guys, I literally cannot emphasize this next point enough. Never, ever sleep with the engine running. If there are multiple people in the car, you absolutely must take turns sleeping. There always needs to be someone awake to monitor the conditions, look out for signs of carbon monoxide poisoning, and just make sure that falling snow hasn't reblocked the tailpipe. 12.
All right, on to priority 3, heat retention and insulation.
So your car is basically a box made of thin metal and glass, which means it sheds heat the very second the engine stops. Staying warm in this situation isn't really about creating heat, it's about trapping the body heat you already have. You're going to want to layer whatever clothing you have available, ideally starting with moisture-wicking fabrics. Insulate yourself with blankets, sleeping bags, and hey, if you're desperate, pull up the car's floor mats and use them as extra shields. If you have passengers, sit right up close to each other to share body heat. Oh, and a pro tip here, hug your chest and stick your bare hands right under your armpits to trap heat and keep your extremities warm.
Let's talk about common mistakes, because I really want to bust a deadly one right here. You might feel this huge urge to leave the car and walk to find help. Do not do it. Stay inside your vehicle at all costs. In a blizzard, that blowing snow creates near zero visibility. It is so dangerously easy to lose sight of your car after literally just a few steps. That leads to rapid disorientation and hypothermia. Plus, your vehicle gives you vital insulation against the wind, and it's way easier for rescuers to spot a big car than a single person wandering around in the snow.
Moving right along our rule of threes, we hit priority 4, safe winter hydration strategies.
Here's another common mistake we need to debunk right now. A lot of people think eating raw snow is a great way to stay hydrated. Well, actually, fact check. It's a terrible idea. It forces your body to use massive amounts of precious core heat to melt that ice internally, and it gives you very little actual water volume in return, which rapidly induces hypothermia. Just don't do it. Instead, follow this safe process. Step 1. Collect clean snow, or honestly, even better, grab some dense icicles. Step 2. Melt it using your ambient body heat, like inside a sealed bottle tucked under your coat, or use a portable alcohol stove if you happen to have one. Step 3. You have to purify it. Fresh snow acts just like a giant sponge for atmospheric pollutants, soot, and even dormant biological pathogens. You absolutely must use purification tablets or boil the melted snow to make it genuinely safe to drink.
Okay, now we shift into the preparation phase. Priority 5, the ultimate winter kit.
First up in your kit, the ice scraper and the snow shovel. These are totally non-negotiable. If you slide into a ditch, a shovel is quite literally the only way you're going to dig out your tires. But even more importantly, based on what we just learned, that shovel and scraper are your main tools for repeatedly digging out the back of your car, to keep that exhaust pipe totally clear of snow.
Next up, you need a high-quality flashlight with extra batteries and some thick extra mittens. The flashlight is essential for signaling rescuers in the pitch black of a winter storm. You can actually even keep your dome light on to be a bit more visible. And those extra mittens, they give you vital insulation for your hands during those 50 minutes every hour when the engine is totally off and the cabin temperature starts plummeting.
All right, here is your closing checklist. Seriously, pull out your phone and screenshot this right now. It includes the whole shebang, from first aid kits and blankets to non-perishable food, water, sand for traction, and booster cables. This is your main actionable call to action for today. Make it an absolute priority to build this kit or just buy a pre-made one before your next winter road trip. Having these items in your trunk gives you peace of mind and the actual physical means to survive.
I want to wrap up this explainer with a really powerful quote from our sources. Survival is as much a psychological challenge as a physical one. Experts say you can only survive about 3 seconds without hope, 46. When you lose hope, you stop clearing that tailpipe, you stop layering your clothes, and you just sort of surrender. So the single best tool you have in a blizzard isn't the shovel and it isn't the blanket, it's maintaining a clear, calm head. Armed with the step-by-step knowledge we covered today, you are completely capable of surviving. So what specific steps are you going to take today to make sure your vehicle is ready for the unexpected?